The students, welcome back to the part 3 of the first chapter, that is reproduction in organisms. The topic for today's lecture is events in sexual reproduction. Yes, in the last class, when we discussed about the events in sexual reproduction, we discussed that the events are grouped into 3 distinct groups for our convenience. So today we are going to discuss the 2 events. There are 3 events, but today we are going to discuss 2 events in sexual reproduction. Let us first go to the first one, that is pre-fertilization events. What is pre-fertilization events? It is referring to all the events prior to the fusions of gametes, meaning all the events that take place before the fusions of gametes, that comes under pre-fertilization events. There are 2 main events. One is gametogenesis and gamete transfers. You can see gametogenesis and gamete transfers. Yes, these are the 2 events that take place in pre-fertilization events. Now let us discuss the first one, gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is referring to the formations of 2 types of gametes. What is the 2 types of gametes? Male and female gametes. So the formations of gametes is called gametogenesis. Now gametes are haploid in nature. They are always haploid in nature. Now how to differentiate the 2 types of gametes? Now let's see. Isogametes or homogametes. In isogametes or homogametes, the gametes are so similar to each other in appearance. That means in morphological structure. It is not possible to categorize them into male and female. Okay? So gametes are so similar that it is not possible to categorize them into male and female gametes. So we observe this type of gametes in some algae. The second one is heterogametes. In heterogametes, the gametes show distinct morphology. That means the 2 gametes are different in morphology. So we can identify them into male and female gametes. Male gametes are called antherozoid or sperms. Antherozoid is the term used in plants, and sperm is the term used in animals. Female gametes are called either egg or ovum. Now let us go to sexuality in organisms. When we discuss about sexual method in reproduction, we said that 2 parents are involved, but that is not true in all the cases. If we take an example of plants, the higher plants undergo sexual method of reproduction, but then only one individual is participate in the reproduction. So to understand more, let us go and discuss some of the important terms. First one, we have unisexual. Okay. In unisexual, the individual is either male or female. Okay. In unisexual, the organism is either male or female. Okay. Bisexual. In bisexual, the individual have both sex organs. Okay. A single individual have both sex organs. Monoecious. Monoecious is referring to the bisexual condition. Bisexual condition in plant. Example, cucurbita, coconut. Okay, so these plants have both sex organs. Therefore, they are referred to as monoecious. Homothallic. Homothallic is referring to the bisexual condition in some fungi and algae. Okay, so in case of algae and fungi, these bisexual conditions we used a separate term called homothallic. heterothallics, so unisexual condition in some fungi and algae. So unisexual condition, we use separate terms called heterothallic in case of fungi and algae. Then dioecious is referring to the unisexual condition in plant. Okay, bisexual is called monoecious. Okay, unisexual it is called dioecious. Examples are papaya, date, palm, etc. Then hermaphrodites. So hermaphrodites are the terms used for bisexual condition in animals. Bisexual condition in animals. So example are tapeworm, leech, earthworm, etc. Now in flowering plants, unisexual male flower is called staminate. Okay. Why it is called staminate? Because the male plant bear a stamen, because stamen is the male reproductive organs in plant. So the unisexual female flower is called pistillate. Why it is called pistillate? Because they bear pistillate, and pistillate are the female reproductive organ in plant. So now let us go to cell division during gamete formation. Yes, cell division during gamete formations. We said that gametes are always haploid in nature, right? Though parents may be haploid or diploid, but they have to give a haploid gamete. So a haploid parent produces gamete by mitotic division, and this types is observed in lower plants and pteridophyte. A diploid parent produced gamete by meiosis division. It is also called reductional division because the chromosome number is reduced after this division, and we observe this in higher plants and most of the animals. Now second one, the first one is gametogenesis. Now we go to the second one, gamete transfer. Now male and female gametes must be physically brought together to facilitate fusion or fertilization. Until and unless male and female gametes are brought together, fertilization cannot take place. So that means there must be a mediums in every living organisms that bring the two types of gametes together so that they can go ahead with the fertilization. So now let's see in lower plant like algae, bryophyte, and in pteridophyte plants, water current becomes the medium through which gametes are transferred. Yes, water currents become the medium for them to transfer the gametes. Okay, and in higher plants, male gametes are transferred by the process of pollination. You know the meaning of pollination, right? Pollination means transfers of pollen from anther to the stigma. Okay. Now in higher animals, male gametes are deposited on the female body through the process of copulation. Okay, male gametes are directly deposited on the female body through copulation. This is how gamete transfers take place in different types of organisms. So the last event we will discuss in the next class. Thanks for watching.